often in the Gospels, when we see Jesus performing a miracle, it's quite small scale. He heals somebody, he changes a person's life. But just sometimes his miracles are grand, extravagant, just like huge scale and memorable for many, many people. And today's miracle is one like that. Jesus doesn't just feed 100 people or a school full of people. He feeds 5,000 men and the women and children who come with them. Philip says it would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each person to have a bite. But each person gets their fill of bread and fish. How amazing is that? Now in Ephesians, in our reading today, Paul says, I pray out of his glorious riches that he may strengthen you. Glorious riches. God can do amazing things. Sometimes those things are small scale, but sometimes when they need to be, like in today's story, they're huge. And to remind us of that, we are going to make a never-ending, or not a never-ending, but a expanding food basket. So step one, we need to fold up. You should have some, if you've got a craft pack, you should have some paper like this. And we're going to fold up the blue paper. So I'm folding on its zigzags and I'm folding it in half again. And when we've done that, we need to draw a fish and cut it out. So here we go. So I'm going to do this twice so that I've got lots of fish. So that's my first one. There we go, there's my first set of fish. And then let's do it again. So I fold the paper on its fold lines, fold it in half and draw my fish. There we go. So, cut this one out too. Now obviously I'm doing this really quickly. If you want to spend longer and have fancier fish, then you certainly can do that. What you do need is pairs of fish that are the same, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so there's my fish. Now, the second part of step one, fold up your beige paper, draw a bread roll and cut it out. So again, I folded it in four for you already, so you just have to fold up those fold lines, fold it in half again. And this one's really easy. You just need to draw a kind of bread roll shape. Here we go. Now again, I'm doing this simply. You can make yours a bit more fancy if you want. Just remember to have pairs that are the same. And if you've got more paper at home, you could make even more bread and fish. So here's my second set of bread rolls here. And draw a quick bread roll shape. And cut it out, and that's step one done. So step two. So using my double-sided tape, or you could use Pritt Stick if you'd like to, we need to stick the bread and fish to this wall, and then the wall to the basket. So this is where pairs are important. So I like ripping my double-sided tape, but if you would like to, then you can use scissors to cut. If you fold the corner over, then it's much easier to unpeel it. Now, have I got two fish here? Nope, just one. So here we go. And we're just going to repeat this step again and again. So here's my fish. Aha, that's two. Let's just cut that there. And I'm going to alternate my bread and my fish. 2 this time. So we just need to keep sticking these on, and you can leave a little bit of a gap between each one to make like a chain of food that we'll be able to pull out of our basket. Now this basket's going to get stuck on our Jesus is cube as we're looking over the next few weeks at who Jesus is. We can use our things that we've done on our cube, the crafts that we've made on our cube, to keep reminding us as we learn more and more. So here we go, another fish. Another bread. There we go, and we'll just keep going with these for a few more until we've got a little chain going. Now I guess if you really didn't like fish, you could change the story a bit in your version, and you could have some other kinds of food coming out of your imaginary basket. But bread and fish is the food that's in our story, so that's the food I'm using today. Here we go, getting there now. See, the chain is looking quite long, and before we know it, we'll have more food than the little boy gave to Jesus. Yes, this story also reminds us that we can give something quite small to Jesus and he can turn that into something quite big and amazing. Because if the little boy hadn't given the boy his if the little boy hadn't given Jesus his lunch, then Jesus would not have had the means to create his miracle, although I'm sure he could have magicked up bread and fish, but even so. Right, we're getting there now. Now obviously I'm doing this really, really quick, but you can spend longer doing yours and measure out and be a bit more careful. I'm just trying to do it quickly for the video. I'm nearly out of string, look at this, not long left now. Here you go. It'd be really nice as your Jesus's cubes come together, just like you get to see mine every week, if I got to see some of yours. So if you ever want to message the church office or put a post onto our Facebook page, it would be really great to see the crafts that you're making at your home too. 2 more to go, and this bit is done. My finger there. Right, so the next stage, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is use some double-sided tape without peeling off the other side, and I'm just going to use that to glue my string to this basket. Then the next step is going to be to fold the edges of this basket in, and we're going to glue this to the edge of our cube with our double-sided tape, or if you wanted, Pritt stick. Okay, so there we go. So just going to tear my tape in half like that to make some thinner strips. And one for the bottom. can be just a thick strip. In fact, I can just do it like that. So now I just need to peel these bits off, and then I can stick my basket full of bread and fish onto my cube. So here we go. So here's my Jesus's cube from last week's craft. And I'm going to glue my basket on, and then I can feed all of my fish and my bread into my basket, and then I can pull my bread and fish out to remind me how extravagant Jesus's miracle was today when he turned a few bits of bread and fish into a feast for 5,000 people.